Whisky lovers, and welcome to another one of Mark's Whisky Ramblings. I'm enjoying my final holidays here at the Belgian coast, and the weather's been on and off. Yesterday it was raining cats and dogs. Today it's beautiful, but well, of course I'm not here to talk to you about the Belgian weather. I'm here to introduce to you a new single malt from Australia. That's right, a whiskey from down under. And in 2007, David Vitale, who previously worked at the Lark Distillery on Tasmania, he struck out on his own and he founded the Victoria Valley Distillery. It's founded in an old Qantas hangar at the Essendon airfield just north of Melbourne, Australia. Now it's quite a modern setup when you see the distillery, and I saw some pictures that my friends Nick and Ilse took when they visited it. Well, it doesn't resemble a classic distillery. There's no pagoda roofs or stuff like that. No, it's all stainless steel, very modern, computer driven. It's almost like something from a 1950s sci-fi movie when you look at it. But nevertheless, it is a very top-notch, computer driven, very modern distillery. Now David started his production in 2010. And he uses various types for maturation. For example, he uses, of course, bourbon casks, but also wine casks, port casks, and sherry casks. Pedro Jimenez, for example. And he even has part of his stock maturing standing up, not lying down as we are used to from classic Scottish distilleries, but standing on their side. David believes that this improves the interaction between the spirit and the wood, and thus increases the pace of maturation. Anyway, in 2012, for reasons that I cannot fathom, he rechristened his Victoria Valley Distillery into the New World Whisky Distillery. Now, truth be told, between you and me, I preferred Victoria Valley Distillery. That was a very descriptive name for a distillery. It was the location. New World Whisky Distillery, oh well, what's in a name? Anyway, soon after he rechristened his distillery, he came out with his first single malt release, and it's this one, aptly named Starward. Starward, not Star Wars. I know you can get confused sometimes, but it's Starward, going to the stars. Anyway, let's give this one a try. It has only been released very recently, and it is bottled at 43% ABV. And as you can see, it's got this beautiful bronze, almost amber color. So I'm guessing some sherry casks were used for this single malt release. On the nose. Honey sweet. It's soft but inviting. I get some apples and pears, some oranges and a hint of hazelnuts. This is quite inviting. I even get some raisins and some marzipan, so clearly there is some sherry cask influence. Ah yes, ripe banana, some brown sugar. This is quite a nice nose. I'm impressed. On the palate then. It is clearly young. Not sharp, but young. You can taste that this is a young single malt. I get some soft spices, I get some cinnamon, some nutmeg, and then the fruit kicks in. Again, some rum raisins, some fresh figs. It's got a good mouthfeel too. The finish, well, rather short, but it remains utterly sweet, and at the death it becomes a bit drying. Well, all in all, I'm quite impressed with this single malt. It's this first release from the New World Whisky Distillery from down under, near Melbourne, Australia. And it reminds me somewhat of maybe Glendronach, Dalmore even. Not that David is trying to copy Scottish whisky, no, not at all. It clearly stands on its own. And I believe this has quite a bright future ahead of it. And in that case, the name Starward is aptly chosen. Now before I let you go, I just wanted to thank my friends Nick and Ilse who visited the distillery in 2010. There was no single malt at that time, but he stayed in touch with David, and as soon as the single malt became available, he made arrangements to have a couple of bottles come over to Belgium, and then he offered one for my personal cabinet, and that was a very nice gift, so thank you Nick and Ilse. And that's all for this Whisky Rambling, and I hope to see you again at one of Mark's Whisky Ramblings real soon. Until then, may the malt be with you. Bye bye.